hello, how are ya? Welcome to Beema's Crafty Corner. I am Beema, better known as Els, and we are working on a journal. We're doing a little golden book journal today. Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. So let's talk about what's been going on. So if you missed last night, we usually do art therapy on Thursday nights, but we didn't do that this week. And we're kind of not going to do that for a while. We're going to be doing this, which is my idea book. Harry, you're just going to have to wait. I have things up here right now. You're going to have to wait. Can you wait? No? Do you need to say hello? Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, because you know Arlene's here. Hello, Miss Arlene. I got mail from you today. I don't know. I got to go out and check the mailbox. It hasn't been telling me for like a whole week, like what I got, because normally it tells me like what I got. It shows me pictures, and it hasn't showed me anything. And then today it's like, you got 5 pieces of mail. So I got to go out and check the mailbox. Hi, Harry. Yes, I know. I know. Mommy needs to get your treaties, huh? I need to get treaties for you. All right. Tell you what. I'll give you a handful of straight treats to get off my desk. Yes, come on. Here you go. One handful of straight treats. There you go. All right. Yeah, I know. That informed delivery thing is getting ridiculous. Okay, so what I'm doing now on Thursdays at 6 p.m. my time, so 7, 8, and 9 across the country, is we're working on our idea book, and that is just basically where we're putting, projects and ideas into a book, so that when I get stuck, when I'm doing a journal and I get stuck and I'm like, what am I going to do? I can come in here and I can find, some different pockets and things and go, I can do these. I can put these in there. And then I have all the measurements, that I need to make these in here. So that I can replicate these projects in real time to put them into a journal. So we did this one last night, which was one of the first videos that I made that was a tutorial. So we did that one last night. And we're going to do all, we're going to hit all these different ones. This one's made out of scrapbook paper, and how you can do it and use single-sided scrapbook paper. This one is scrapbook paper, it's double-sided. But we're going to be doing all of them, and we're going to go back through my entire playlist, all of my ephemera, all of my tuck-ins, all of that stuff. We're going to go through those, and we're going to put them into the idea book. And you can create an idea book. If you don't have one like this, that's spiral bound, of course, you can just get a 3-ring binder and put some, decent weight cardstock in there, and just start filling it up. And that way you have a record of projects that you can do as well. So that is what we are now doing on Thursdays. Let me see if I can get this back. It's you'll get to look at my gray hairs. Okay. So that is what we were doing on Thursdays. Now, yesterday I put almost a little over 30 items, I believe, into the shop. Some of them are scavenger items. Some of them are from previous sales. I just spent hours yesterday getting stuff put into the shop. You can find a link to the shop in the description below. So if you want to go check those out, you can. Hi, Michelle. Michelle loves my promotion bin. Like my projects. She loves them. You missed it last night. We turned a file folder into a pocket. And we made that other one. Yeah, I did last night's project. I did it with one of these little mini file folders too, because I thought that would be cute. So I did it with one of these little mini file folders, which did turn out kind of cute. All right, what else? Let's see. We covered things in the shop, what we're doing, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fixing. So yesterday I made a paper clip that's a tab, and these are called coins. And where did I first see this? I think that I first saw this, don't quote me, but I think it was Lolly who did these. But we're going to be doing a video on them. So let me get our journal out here. So we are doing a Winnie the Pooh Little Golden Book. And there is a playlist for this. Let me put it in the thing here because I have it. Yeah, I know. For once I have it, right? Amazing. Copy. And paste. So that is the playlist, and it's going to walk you through it. Now, there's a bunch of different books in it, okay? A bunch of different little golden books, including one of the little tiny ones. But basically, it's because each one of them was at a different place, and to get to that place, you know, I had to use different books. So, but it tells you how to get the pages out, how to build the spine so that you end up with this like 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/2 inch spine. I think it's 1 1/4, 1 1/2. It's 1 1/4, 1 1/4 inch spine. And you end up with 2 signatures, because that's usually what's in a little golden book is 2 signatures, and how to put it together to keep the story intact. Because, you know, after all, that's what we want to do, right? So we've done 2 signatures with it. We've added some paper, you know, to bulk it out so we can have some writing space and stuff, because you can't really write on that. So we've added some pages to this. We did a little bit of ephemera here and there. We've done some pockets, some tucks, that kind of thing. We do have our little Easter eggs in here, which are just little pieces. They're little stickers, little Winnie the Pooh stickers, and there's one on every page except this page. I missed a page. I'll go back and get it. We'll get it. So this was the first one, and we did cold laminated bookmark. There's a video for that coming out, or it did just come out, or it's coming out next week, or whatever. And I decided to use elementary paper, not kindergarten paper, elementary paper, because I thought that was appropriate to a little golden book. And then, so that was signature 1. And we are working on signature 2, or as we call it around here, B. And normally I wouldn't put anything on these pages because, you know, but this just lent itself, and it's the front page of the cover, so I wanted it to be there. And of course, we've got our little, you know, stickers. This one we're going to be doing with some colored pencils. I'm probably going to do that today. And then we did some fussy cutting of some other pages from other Winnie the Pooh books in order to put them in. And we're incorporating like the 3 versions, like the vintage version, the English version, and the Disney version of Winnie the Pooh. And so, you know, we're adding some stuff and going through. This I'm going to leave just the way it is because you can write on that. So I'm leaving it. And this, again, it's just a tuck with a really nice size journal card, so you can still write on the paper. And then we have a belly band here with a journal card that's, you know, it's all off center so that it works. I'm not worried about the back of these because it's yellow. You can write on it, you know. It's not like I used black paper. But this was our oops. It was intended to be for a tab, which means the image would have been sideways. So I redid it so that my image is going in the right direction. Let me just get it on the page here. Here we go. So now it's going in the right direction on both sides. So we did not do anything on this page yet. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it. And this is kind of where we left off. So today I want to do this. So I'm going to get some colored pencils. Okay, that. And let me get, give me 1 second. Sorry, I had to go blow my nose. It's been very damp here lately. And so it's, you know, it's causing allergies. All right, so we are going to be coloring Winnie the Pooh. And I don't want this to be oversaturated. And these are watercolor pencils, but I'm not going to add water. And I'll tell you why. Because this paper sucks up water. And I don't want to suck up too much water. So. Do, 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 do. I forgot to do his legs. All right. So let's do green for the grass. And then we'll do some, I guess, orange for the flowers. And I'm not really, you know, like overly coloring these things. So if I miss some spots, I miss some spots. The idea is just to give it that look of color. And let's see. Butterfly here. I'm going to give this. We'll do these flutterbys in different colors. Purple, purple, purple. This one. All right. All right. So we just wanted to add a little color to the page. Hi, Steph. No, you don't viciously tear them out. No, no, no. Don't do that. Yeah. All right. So we've added a little color to that. It's not overly colored, but you can tell that it's colored, and we kind of want that look. You know what? I got to do his outfit. Cerulean. There we go. Ooh, wait, we missed the collar. Okay. All right, so we got that. This and this, 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 and we don't know what we're doing here. Jesse eats better than most people. All right. I think we're going to put an image on here. So I pre-inked what I thought I would use on these stickers, and I'll tell you why. Because the ink takes a while to dry, and I don't want to rub it off completely. So I went ahead and pre-inked them like days ago. So if I pick one that I don't have pre-inked, we'll have to sit here and wait for it to dry. See, storm, they're all happy. Okay, here we go. Moving on. So now we're on to this page. We're going to put one of our pieces over here. Yes, I'm all snotty today. Damn it. Skitters? Did I lose my skitters? I did. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, so what are we going to do on this page? Uh-huh, I see that. Oh no, Arlene. Yeah, I've seen people do that. It's like, oh my God, no, you just turned into mud. And these inks, they take a while to dry. Like you can set them, but they take a while to dry. And I've seen people do that where they've just, they put it on there and then they're just shh, and you're like, oh no, crap, don't do that. Now, if that's the look you're going for, by all means, have at. But for the love of Pete, you know? Oh, crap. Hey, we got this. That's different. We could put that on there, like make our own washi tape out of it. It's just a piece of paper. Okay, I'm getting there. So we do have stickers. We have lots of pieces of the other books, pages out of the other books. We have some sticker sets that are really about a birthday, but you know, they're appropriate, like the colors are right. So I've got those. And we, of course, got some library cards that work. And we have more digitals and more kid paper. So, pull out pages. We're going to look, see if we can find something that we want to put here. Boy, everything is about Tigger bouncing around, isn't it? Let's see what we can do with this. Maybe. Maybe this one. Let's see if I can get that out. I like that. Okay. We're going to see if we can get this out. And I have a couple of punches that we've been using. So let me grab one that we've already punched and we'll put it over it and see if it'll work. If not, we'll go on to something different. But I know we had some left. Ah, there's one. Okay, let's see. No, that's not going to be big enough. So let me grab, we'll do it with a die. Very good. I like it. All right. So I could probably get this one with that die, with that punch. I don't know. We're going to find out. Yeah, I can get that one. Or we can get this one. Well, let's punch this one out and see what it looks like. Because there's really nothing on the other side that we're overly attached to. So let's see. We'll punch this out. If we like it, we like it. If we don't, then, you know, we will. Maybe we won't punch it out. There we go. I locked the punch and couldn't get it unlocked. All right, so I'm going to see what we get. Right there, we're punching blind. I can live with that. It's a little flat on one side, but if we put that side under there, it works. Look at that. Okay, get this. There we go. So if we put that under there, that works. I like it. It's a little different. All right, I'm going to put some ink on this. By the way, we're using our vintage walnut photo. Shush. These things happen. I have Buggy. Buggy's here this weekend. He's asleep right now because, you know, teenage boy. He was up playing video games with his pop till 2 this morning. Oh my God, I finally heard come out of my husband's mouth the words I thought I'd never hear. He said yesterday, I'm no longer Superman. Holy crap! A man admitting to that? He wasn't about anything manual labor, though. Hi, Janie. He was in the shower, and he was in our bathroom, and I went in there because I had to go to the bathroom, and he's like, and then I'm like, I'm throwing things, and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, there's a spider in here. There was a spider. It was by the shower door, and I'm trying to get it because it looked at me like I was dinner. You have to be careful with spiders in Vegas because they could be brown recluses or they could be black widows. And I am one of those people that is allergic to black widows. They won't kill me, but they do make me swell up really bad. So I'm careful with them because I've been bitten by one before. And oh, I like it. See? I like it. So he finally comes out of the shower, and I had gotten his shoe and I was trying to kill it. It was, they go in the corner. Like that's their defense mechanism. They go in the corner so you can't get them because shoes are round and corners are square. And unless you've got a pair of really pointy-toed shoes. And he comes out of the shower and he's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, Jack killed the spider. And he's like, oh God. Where? And I'm showing it to him. He goes, I'm not Superman. I can't see it. I don't have my glasses. So I get his glasses for him. And I was like, yes, he finally admitted he's not Superman. And so he goes, oh yeah, there's a spider. So he goes and he gets a piece of toilet paper, goes, hold my towel, and he gets it and he kills the spider. And he's like, I just got out of the shower. Now I'm all dirty. I'm cleaning stuff off the floor. And I was like, shut up. And then I had to brush his hair because his arm got tired washing it in the shower. Really? Really? Men. So I want to add something else to this. I just don't know what I want. I like that though. I do not, however, like this punch because you can't see what you're punching. It's great for solid colors, not so good for images. Okay. Yeah, like I said, if it looks like a black widow or a brown recluse, it goes. If it's any other kind of spider, like little wood spiders and the jumping spiders and stuff, those I'll just put on a piece of paper and take them outside. Jar, paper, climb on there, scotch your ass, and out the door we go. But This one looked like a black widow. So, yeah, gotta go. Uh, Otherwise, you can live here happy, joyous, and free. You're fine. But yeah, if you look like a brown recluse or a black widow, you're gone. Gone, I tell you, gone. So we do have this image that we cut out yesterday. And I think we're going to make a pocket out of it. I just don't know where. I'm going to put it right there. We'll make a pocket. Okay. So I don't know if I want to do anything else to this one. We're going to let it sit for, sit and marinate for a minute. We're going to turn the page. We're going to get one of our little Easter egg stickers for this. And we're going to put it on here. I think we're going to put it over here. But I am going to get my pencil because this page has a number on it. We're going to get rid of it. That one had a number on it. We'll get rid of that one too over here. But we cut that number off. Okay, we got a little bit of glue on here. I'm going to put this one right here. And then I'm going to back this on some white cardstock. Cut a piece down because that's too much to work with. There, we'll glue it down. Yeah, I was junior high. Yeah, it was junior high. Actually, it might have been freshman year of high school because my when I went to school in my freshman year of high school, I actually still attended the junior high school building because of a special program that I was in. They had the space. So, hold on. He just got up, went outside, and left the dog. Let me get the dog out. Oh. Come on. Mommy will let you out. Yes, I know. Mean old daddy didn't let you out. There you go. The other one I couldn't move if I tried. She's staring at the boy's door. When's he coming out? But I woke up and my foot hurt. And I told my mother, and she thought I was just trying to get out and go to school. So she was like, get your ass dressed and go to school. And I was like, fine. And so, I got dressed. And I went to school. And about, I don't know, probably about an hour in, my foot was so swollen. And I had to walk to school. My foot was so swollen that it was like popping out of my shoe. And one of the teachers saw it and told me to go to the office, see the nurse. So I went to see the nurse and she looked at it and she says, I have a feeling that's some kind of a bite and you need to go to the doctor. And so they called my mom and my mom said she can walk home. If you know me, you know I had a very unusual relationship with my mother. I didn't like her very much. And honestly, I don't think she liked me very much. And so I walked home, which, by the way, was right inside of the 2-mile limit that you have to be to get a bus for school. And I stopped at my doctor's office because my doctor's office was right there on the way home. And they had a standing permission to treat me kind of thing. And so I stopped there. And then the doctor actually called my mother and said, you need to come get her. This is a black widow bite. And honestly, it can kill her. So get your butt over here. Back then, they weren't real big on the whole, you guys have to remember. Yes, I am Gen X. So, we were feral. And so my mom did come and pick me up from the doctor, and they had to give me all kinds of stuff, and they had to clean the wound, and my foot swelled up like a balloon, and I was hating life. Hating life. All right, let's see. I'm thinking we might use one of these library cards. So let's go ahead and back this. I'm just going to back it on a piece of white. The doctor said I was actually very lucky because I'm allergic, but I'm not like deathly allergic. So that was cool. Exactly. Suck it up. Our parents' idea of gentle parenting was hitting us with the shoe and not the wooden spoon, I have to applaud my daughter, though, because when my daughter gets mad at her kids, she gets all English. She does. Like, her Irish comes out. And she'll look at her children and go, "Oh, no, I'm old world. Screw that old school. And now you have to die." It's like, oh, my God. Don't kill the children. Because they were. The children of our generation, our children, they were raised a little feral too. Like, not a lot, but a little feral. Like the first one, and then like when the second one came along, we were like, I think maybe we should be better parents. That was kind of the way we were, Although I was watching one of the Gen Xers the other day, and there was a millennial who posted a video, and it was like, "Gen X, seriously, I have a question. Did you really have a video, a commercial that said it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?" And he was like, yes, we did. We did have that. But, however, we didn't have to have sensors in the backseat of our car that said, "Don't leave your kids in there." Oh, yeah. Those were good. Yeah. That's what I said to my daughter when she said I was going 91 miles an hour on the trip. I said, yes, but is she alive? She is. Shut up. My daughter went, yeah, pretty much. That's fair. All right, we're going to put this one up here. So we're going to turn it into washi tape. How do we do that? We put a piece of tape on the back of it. The first we'll ink. Then we'll put some tape on it. But did you live? Yes. Okay, you're done. Go away. I mean, come on. When we were kids, I mean, I'm talking like 7 years old. My mom used to send me and my brother, and my brother was maybe 10, 9.5, 10, something like that. My mom used to send us to the local deli, which was like 5 miles away if you took the road, and a mile away if you took the fire trail. We used to take the fire trail. To go and like get lunch meat or a loaf of bread or, a gallon of milk or whatever it was she needed. And we only had so much time to get there and get back. That was like the only rule, So we used to take the fire trail. We used to get on our bike and basically ride down a mountainside on a bicycle. No helmet, free willy, just doing it. And pray we got home within the allotted amount of time. Because once we went down, which was the easy part, we had to basically push the bike back up the mountain. Hell no, we didn't have seatbelt locks. We laid in the back of my mom's station wagon on the metal floor because there wasn't even carpet back there. With the dog bouncing around on top of us. Doing this thing to truckers to get them to blow their air horns. Yeah, you remember doing that? That was fun. I remember driving across country in a 1965 or 66 Plymouth, a boat of a car, with my mom and her best friend Jody and my brother, and we were sitting on the floorboard playing on the seat. If my mom or Jody had gotten in an accident, we would have bounced all over that car. And the cat, this old one-eyed clawless cat that my mother loved, that thing was in there too. Yes, I used to ride in the bed of my dad's truck. My dad had an old Ford pickup truck with it had the wood flatbed and it had the wood uprights, that you slid in. And every year when we had like parades in our town, they would call him and say, "Hey, bring the truck down." My dad painted that thing with spray paint, but he had an old truck like that. It was kind of a dream of his, and he got it. And I'm telling you, we used to ride around town in the back of that thing on a wood bed with wood slat things like fence pieces, That was the whole truck. And I lived on a mountain, and boom, 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 getting up and down the road. And my parents would sit in the front seat because it was an old, like, we're talking like a 1930s truck, pickup truck. So there was only room for two in the seat. And so my brother and I would ride in the back. Because my mom and dad would take it like if they were going to the grocery store or something like that. Because it had a lot of room to put groceries in. Yeah. My grandmother was the same way. Put your seatbelt on. As she drove down the street, saying seatbelt, air conditioner full blast, cigarette hanging out of her mouth. Never took it out of her mouth. It just hung there. It was a Saratoga 120, those big long brown cigarettes. It's hanging out of the corner of her mouth. My God. Windows wide open in a blizzard. Oh my God. I used to laugh because my grandmother used to drive like hell on wheels. And then she'd get home, and my grandfather was such a gentleman. He would stop traffic to let her pull into the driveway. And then after she got out of the car, he would take the car and he would pull it back out of the driveway and turn it around so that when she would pull out, she would be facing out and not having to back out into the street. And he did that every day. Every time she went someplace. I don't care if she went to bingo and got home at midnight. He'd go out there and turn her car around and put it in right by the front door. She was the only person in the whole family that used the front door. She would pull in, go in the front door. When she left, she'd go out the front door. Nobody else did because nobody else was allowed in the parlor.
Morning, ladies.
Hi, honey. You awake, baby boy?
Yeah.
He texted me the other day. Can I come over this weekend? Like I'm going to tell him no. Yes, this is your house. Come over if you want to. You got your own freaking room.
I'm still hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still
Yes, you're
hand.
still hand. She just says that because she knows it gets you. My mom's first car was a Corvair. You remember those? The old Corvair? It had all the push buttons like first gear, second gear, drive, all of that was all push. Um, and it didn't have a seat. She sat on a milk crate. I mean, that's the way laws were back then.
Where is it? Am I coming over?
I haven't heard back from your Uncle Bubby other than he's going to have to talk to her mom.
Okay.
Every time he comes over, he wants Lily Butt to come over too. He likes to hang out with Lily. They sit in the room and giggle all day. All right, this needs something else. I don't know what it is. Um, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Powder Blue Nova. Oh, I remember. Yeah, that was her first car. She had a Corvair, and it did not have seats in the front. It only had a back seat. My grandfather found it in a junkyard, and he fixed it up for her. But she literally sat on a wood milk crate for like 2 years driving that car. Like, seriously? All right, this needs something. I just don't know what it is. What are we missing, guys? What are we missing on this page? We have to remember, maybe this is a tab page. Maybe we need to put a tab on it. I think it needs a tab. Let's go to the next page. What are we going to do over here? All right, so this is a writing page and this is a writing page. So we don't really want to do anything over here because we want to keep that. Oh, it's a little, we're going to ink this page because there's some white at the bottom. I'm not going to ink. I'm just going to rub the ink on there very lightly just to cover up the white. There we go. Muy better. See, I fixed it. I have to tell you, my dream car is a Volkswagen thing. Like, I've owned all the other ones, okay? I've had a 68 Corvette. I had a 68 Pony Mustang. I had a 1969 Mercury Dodge Cougar. I had the old Chevy van with the engine inside. I've had one of those. That's a 68 Chevy van. I've owned all of my, cars. I owned a Chevelle. I've owned a Nova. I even had a Duster at one point. I've owned all of them. My one car, the last one on my bucket list, is, I want a thing. My ex-husband was hysterical. He bought me a Matchbox thing. He goes, someday it'll grow up. But Mike knows that I want them, and he's always looking. Like, if he finds one that's in our price range, he's so buying that damn thing. That is literally, that is my dream car. Like, that's the last one, is the Volkswagen thing. Because, like, I've owned all the other ones. I had a Carmen Ghia at one point. I even had an MG at one point because I used to restore cars when I was younger. And, so I've had, a lot of the older cars. At one point, I even had one of those, what the hell is that thing called? The one that they used in Back to the Future, a DeLorean. Actually, one time had a DeLorean. I've had a Saab. I've owned a Saab, a 72 Saab. That's the one that has the key in the between the two seats. I had that. Somebody wrecked that car, ticked me off. But like I've had all of those, like the ones, my dream cars. And I had a list of like 20 cars that I wanted, and I've owned all of them at one point or another. Matter of fact, a few of them, my Chevelle, my Nova, the Mustang, the Cougar, and a pickup truck. My daughter's biological father, he put them up for loans for a few $100s. The titles weren't even in his names, but the loan company didn't care. They came when he defaulted on the loans. They pulled my fence out and towed all my cars away. And by time we were able to get into court and me prove that those cars didn't belong to him and he did not have the right to do that to begin with, they had already auctioned off my cars. I've owned a Delta 88 with the T-tops, which, if you don't know, is an Oldsmobile sports car, still a boat. I had the Oldsmobile with the Heidi headlights. I gave it to my brother, but I gave it to him. It had a 2-barrel carburetor on it, but I had the manifold and the quad barrel in the back. And my brother opened up the hood and he went, "Phenomenal cosmic power, living space." I said, "Yeah, but I got the rest, at the other end. I'll do a top end rebuild on it for you." And my brother was like, "Thank you," because not very mechanically inclined. Like, he can turn a socket, but it's not top end for him. You know what I mean? But my mom, she made sure that I knew how to fix cars, because my mom was very much about, not having to depend on a man to do things for you. I don't like that. This color it's hard to work with in this book. But we didn't want to go with red, so we went with the lighter shade. And I want a pocket, I think, on the bottom. Let's go to the book and see if we can find something on the bottom. Yeah, my mom made me get rid of my Harley. Something about she didn't like my daughter riding around in the sidecar. Going to be too deep. No. I'm so tired of Tigger bouncing. Okay, we're going to look. Might cut that off there. I don't know. We'll see. There's this one. No singing in the morning. We might do that one. Okay. Yeah, my mom decided that it wasn't. I have to tell you, this is ironic because my mom rode most of my life, but she decided that it was not safe for my daughter, her grandchild, to ride around in the sidecar, even though I took her all over Europe like that. And so my mom didn't get rid of it. I think my mom was just jealous that I had one and she didn't. And let's put that right about there. And get my pencil. Where did I put my pencil? Here it is. Okay. I've got a number over here to take off. Okay, take that off. Okay. All right, so we're going to take this about here and about there. Yeah, so I drove it all over Europe. I took it with me when I went to school at the Cordon Bleu over in England. And my daughter went with me because, you know, she was a baby. And I wanted to keep her, you know. I wanted to keep her with me. So I took her over to Europe and I had a sidecar put on it, and I just put her in the sidecar with luggage, you know, and till she was about 3. I left Alaska when she was about 1.5 years old and then decided to go over and attend the Cordon Bleu, so I took her with me. What else was I going to do with her, you know? I'm not going to spend 1.5 years without my kid at that age because then she wouldn't remember me. So I took her with me. We went and we had adventures. And my mother did not think it was funny. So she was like, no, no, no. All right, I'm not going to mark that. I'm just going to take it off. She did not think that was amusing. She was like, no. I was like, but, no. Jeez. Just because you're the grandma, you think you get a say in this? So now Mike is building that bike for me because he figures now that the kids are all grown, I can ride a bike again. Of course, now that the kids are all grown, I have arthritis in my knees, my hands, carpal tunnel. You know, it's not like I can really ride anymore, but I'm not going to tell him because he's making that bike and he's very proud of himself. So I'm letting him. And eventually, I'll be able to drive without having to put my feet down or, you know, anything, because that bike has tow package on the back and he's going to put the trailer on it. It also has a sidecar attachment, so he's going to put the sidecar on it. That way I can take it on its adventure. And basically it's just driving in a car without a roof. So it's a convertible. Okay. We're going to put this one over here. Or down here. We put it down here. Okay. Ink. My first car was the 68 Chevy van. My mom owned it, and I bought it from my mom. Sort of. It got stolen. Someone stole it. And I went down and bought it back at an impound. Because I loved that van. It had the water bed in it and everything. That's probably why it got stolen. Stop with your inking on things, people. Or if you're going to ink on things, make it go out further away from the picture and the writing so that we can cut it off. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A spider. I have a friend down the street who has one. An older guy. 2 car tires in the front. Yeah. I almost bought a trike a few years ago. It was a friend of mine who was selling it, but I decided not to. I had a Honda CB550 at one point. One of my ex-husbands used to ride it. And it tried to kill him. And so I gave it to my mother. And it tried to kill her. And I said, I think I'm over this bike. And my mom gave it to my brother. And I was like, do you want to kill him? And she's like, no. And I was like, well, that bike's a damn death trap. No, he'll be fine. It tried to kill him. Yeah. Let's see. Take a little bit off the bottom here. More off the bottom. Yeah, that bike was a man-eater. Beautiful bike, though. Had a custom job on it. Gorgeous. But, when it tries to kill people, it did. It was always throwing the chain, and it was horrible. All right, so we're going to put this up here, and I am going to glue it to another piece. I'm going to make it a little thicker so we can make a tuck out of it. We're all here talking about bikes. That's almost killed Janie. Janie had a really bad accident on her bike. If memory serves me. Like, broken everything, kind of owie, on her bike. I actually drove without a license for about 3 years. Before I got a license. And I learned how to drive on the LA freeways because my second husband fell, and we were up in Griffith Park, hiking on Mulholland Canyon up there. And he fell and he broke his leg. And they didn't have cell phones back then, and there wasn't a payphone. So he was like, drive me to the hospital. And I was like, I don't know how to drive. And he's like, get in the car, put it in drive, and go. So I learned how to drive on the LA freeways. There's a way to learn to drive. And then, like 6 months after that, I went to England, and I drove in England without a license. And now there's an adventure. And then I came back, and I was in New York for a while. And I drove in New York for about a year and a half with no license. You sensing a theme? I got my license when I was 19. Hi, Miss Maury. Yeah, I love that van. It was all campered out. It had 2 bucket seats in the front, had a water bed in the back, a refrigerator, a little stove. It was a little camper van. Somebody had built a little camper van in it. I love that van. All right, what are we going to do? Are we leaving this one alone too? I think we might leave this one alone and leave this one alone. This one needs one of these. I'm going to get this on here if I can find the end. There it is. I find it the end. Cut this one off. Put it right there. And we're going to put some ink on this. I don't want to do a lot, but I want to put a little something on here. Could glue come out of bottle, please? Thank you. This one. What are we going to do? Let's see if I can get this. Look, if we can't tease our kids about the fact that they were conceived in the back seat of a whatever. I backed this already on card, and so cutting it is a pain in the ass. Here we go. Okay. Got that. This. My scissors. Okay. Let's put some ink. Putting this up there. Yeah, the problem with motorcycles is that cars in general don't feel that they need to stop. No regrets. No regrets, ladies. No regrets. All right, we're going to get that off of there. If I can find my pencil, here it is. Get that off. And we're putting one of these on. Glue. Okay. So we're going to do one of these. Put some ink in this little thing. We are almost through this. I'll put this right here. I'm going to put this one right here. Now, there are some pages that we need to go back and take a look at because they just didn't work, the way that I did them, and I want to revisit. So we will do that. This is kind of the last page of the book. So next, we're putting this sucker together, which means it's almost done, which means we need to pick a new journal to do. I will post what we have, and everybody can vote. Happy, 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 happy. Right there. And we're going to put a Christopher Robin on there. With Pooh. Pooh. So put it right there. Come on, get the glue to flow. There we go. Flowing glue. No astronaut kitties on Mars. Woman. You're killing me. You're killing me. What am I going to do with you, Arlene? So I think we might start the Dark Macabre next. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So this one we have to be a little bit careful of because it literally just went barely over the words. So let's see what we got. All right, we're gonna do it. We can do this. Go blue. All the way down. Back up. Okay. Here we go. From the bottom to the top. So we have a little bit more work to do before we, call this one quits, but we're going to be finishing it next week. And so we're going to have to figure out what we're doing next. Kitty paw. Dino llamas in Middle Earth. No. Arlene is incorrigible. I love that about her. All right. So this is our last page. Ooh, we got to put our sticker on there. All right. putting it at the top. And that. Okay. Put it up here. Right there. Okay. So we kind of have this one, you know, it's done-ish. But there are some spots with some things, you know, I want to finish up. Things like putting toppers on tags and things like that. And putting more tags in and more journaling cards in because I want there to be more in here. So this is section B. Let me find that thing. There it is. I do want to make tabs for this, and we've got a few other things to do. So not quite done. We're going to be working this next week, and then, I don't know, maybe we'll start the Dark Macabre. Maybe. But I will also list for what our next journal is going to be because I have 4 ready to go that we just have to, you know, decide that we want to do them. And they're all different styles. You know, like this time we had like a little golden book. We had a multiple journal, single signature multiple journal set. That was like a box set of journals. We had an album journal, travelers. There was all kinds of stuff. So we'll do the same thing. You know, I'll have like a variety of themes and styles. And what it is it's what I have available at the moment. Like it's the ephemera that I have available. It's the digitals that I have available. It's the paper, the bases for the books, all of that kind of stuff. If I have it available and I can do it, then, you know, we put that list together and we do it. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Get all of this out of the way. So we have 2 signatures. That are going to be going in here. We have some more stuff to put into this. So, not too bad. Because I still have like tags and stuff that I want to get in here, and we haven't done any of that. So we're going to get those in. Then we're going to stitch these 2 signatures in and hopefully be done with this one next week. So, let me get a rubber band. I'm going to put a rubber band on this one. And obviously we could put a lot more into it. And we might be working on it next week. But that is, this one I'd say is probably about 85% in the bag, so to speak. What are we doing? So tonight we have craft with me. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea at all what I will be doing for craft with me. I don't know. We might just be hanging out, you know. These things happen. We do have a new die to play with. So maybe we'll cut that and play with that. Who knows? And I should probably put the book in here and the washi tape. All right. All the washi tape brain damaged. Okay. What else? Oh, I know what we can do for the craft with me. We can do this project. Yes, I have a project. And it involves these purple Halloween roses. So maybe we'll do this tonight. I was going to do it as a video, but I think we'll do it as a craft with me. It's a Dollar Tree project. So maybe we'll do this tonight. We'll do this one tonight. Wah. Let's get the book and see what we got going on. All right. So, all right. So, there have been changes to our schedule. Starting Monday, we're going to have our Monday mixed media mini morsels. And those will be every other week. So the 8th and the 22nd this month. I have to change it in the schedule. I haven't changed it yet. Also, Thursdays, instead of doing art therapy, we're going to be doing our idea book. And you can do that along with me by simply getting yourself a 3-ring binder and, punching some holes in some paper, some cardstock, putting it in there so that you have a book to assemble it into. Or you could just make a journal and put it on the pages of the journal. It's entirely up to you. But it is basically, a scrapbook of all kinds of pockets and stuff. And I'm going back all the way back to the beginning of the channel about 7 years ago and pulling those tutorials so that we can, have all those pockets in our idea book. Fridays will still be craft with me. Saturdays will still be mixed media. And Sundays will still be our normal game. So basically just every other week there will be a tutorial on Monday. And every other week on the alternating weeks, there will be the mixed media mini morsels. And then instead of doing art therapy, we're going to be doing the idea book. Also, for this month, your projects of 25 challenge items are playing cards and or packing tape. Any kind of packing tape. It can be anything. It can be masking tape, that string threaded tape. It could be regular clear tape. Maybe it's paper tape, whatever it is. Packing tape and or playing cards. Yes, the Monday mixed media mini morsels are videos. They're already recorded. I've recorded all of them. I think through the end of the year. Yeah. Through the end of the year. So instead of having a regular tutorial on Monday, you're going to get that instead. So you can watch it anytime you want during the week. This past week, there's a junk mail layered pocket video, which is a beginner's project. And then there's also a more advanced, it's a tab, it's a paper clip, it's a bookmark, it's a pen holder, who knows. But we used it in the bee journal, and so there's a video for that. Also coming up, we have a quad pocket paper clip. Ooh. And then we also have some butterfly ephemera coming up. We have a mini album journal. So like the Sherlock Holmes journal, like the bee journal, like the dark fairy forest, that style, only I made it in mini. You can use a shirt box to do it, or you can use a piece of poster board, which is what I used to do it. And I kind of like the idea of the poster board because there's so many colors you can choose from. And if you have like a hobby snobby, there's like 100 colors you can choose from. So those are kind of the major changes, the mixed media mini morsels and the idea book. And we're still going to be doing craft with me. And so tonight, which is the 5th, we're going to be doing the craft with me. And I'm going to be doing this little craft. I get it. This is kind of a spur of the moment thing, so nobody has the stuff. But, hey, if you have a plastic container someplace and some flowers, you can do this one. We'll talk about it. You'll see. And the video for these is coming out too. And what else? That's it. So I currently have videos posted through the end of the year. I am looking towards our New Year's Eve bash, trying to find out what project we're going to be doing. Because, every year we do a project. Everybody who participates in like live in the actual, on screen part of the New Year's bash. And I try to have somebody in each time zone. So, I try to have somebody who's Pacific, somebody who's mountain, somebody who's central, somebody who's east, so that we can have, everybody in there. And sometimes we don't, we don't get that, but, But we all work on the same basic project. Like we all get the same base, and whatever we do with it, we do. So um yes, they did. They also sent it to a place called Ollie's. And if you have an Ollie's, if you know, you know. But Mike is going to be visiting Big Brain Boy, and he has an Ollie's right down the street from his house. And Mike's going to be doing some shopping for us. Yes, he's good at it though, so don't worry. He's good. You guys know that. He's found some really good stuff. Like he spots Tim Holtz across the store now. He's gotten real good at it. So yes, Michaels did buy Joanne's inventory, but the problem is that Michaels doesn't really have open stock paper anymore. Joanne's was full of it. And there's a lot of other things too that Joanne's did way wrong that does not fit into the formula for Michaels. So we'll see where it goes. But I know that they bought Hancock Fabrics, and you can buy Hancock fabric online, but it honestly drove the price up. Now there is a rumor that Walmart may be going back to the old fabric format for their craft department, where they may put back in bulk fabric and not have, that pre-cut garbage that nobody wants. So if they do that, then they would be serious, competition at this point. So, well, with Ollie's, it's hit or miss. So if you want to know what's going on in my digital world, maybe you want to see if I have any free classes coming up. Maybe you want to see what my videos are going to be. Maybe you want to play the mixed media mini morsels. Maybe you want to support the channel. Maybe you want to buy some digitals. Maybe you want some free digitals. Maybe you want to join my Facebook group. If you want to do anything like that, just click on that description box below. It's going to take you, there's links there for everything. You can go to my Etsy shop. You can go to my Facebook group. You can go to my Ko-Fi. You can go to my Patreon. It's all there. All you have to do is click on it. But that's it. You have a fabric thrift shop? Is it called SAS? I love SAS. I go down to Phoenix just to see Jamie and go to SAS. Like I could spend hours in those stores. All right. So that's it. That's all I have for you this week. And remember, if I have not offended you, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that I get the opportunity to do so, because I will, and you want to be around for it. So until next time, stay well, stay hydrated, stay cool. I love you guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.